A onto this 12 by 12 canvas. It's a 12 by 12 gallery wrapped canvas. I blew it up. Thank you, Rima. I blew it up really big. I think I blew it up to like 320. I think that's what it was. And he is a lucky man. Thank you. Tim, are you watching? I blew it up really big to fill in my canvas. Okay, and then I just added some little curlies and stuff like that with a pen. Hey, Cindy. So, yes, I can make an L. So we are going to add some glass to this just for fun and see what we get. So here is my glass pieces that I'm going to use. And all I did was I had a purple vase that I've had for ages that I had already busted, and there are a lot of small pieces. Thank you, Doris. And I just used these wheeled nippers to nip out for, and I didn't even try to particularly make petal shapes. I just took a large piece of glass and just nipped shapes, and whatever would be, will be. So this is what I used to make my all the pieces that you're gonna see, with the exception of the flower centers, which are just little beads from my handy dandy bead bucket. This is all just a bunch of Hobby Lobby beads and stuff that I like to throw in my art sometimes. So we are gonna make Allie Pants a beautiful purple flower. Now I'm going to use some glue too, just to glue some of the things in place. And this is Aleene's clear tacky glue. It dries clear and it dries pretty quick, and it doesn't interfere with our resin. So I am going to go ahead and get started. So I just traced my A with my graphite paper. Yes, Jerry. And then I just painted it in with black acrylic paint. And then I actually just used this little fine liner pen. It's a graphic needle drawing 0.3 to kind of make some viney looking stuff. And we're gonna add some flowers to that. So I am just gonna go ahead and start laying out some flowers kind of where I want them to be. So first thing is we got this great big flower, and we are going to put that little sucker right here. So this is just some purple glass, some purple vase glass that I already had. So I'm going to go ahead and just add my little flower pieces. I love it already. Is that not cute? I love it. Oh my goodness, Jerry, you're not late, honey. We just got started. I was 20 minutes, well, I came in, and then I went out, and then I came back in, and I went out. So, yeah, it's a crazy Cindy day, so just bear with us. So I just nipped out with my wheeled nippers a couple of little shapes. No rhyme or reason. They just came this way. This is just how they landed. And I used my stone, my rubbing stone, to get the sharp edges off. Just a little quick rub on the stone so nobody gets stabbed. Because I got stabbed today by a piece of glass, and it still hurts my finger. Okay, so what I want to do now is I have this iridescent bead that's kind of purple and blue. So I'm going to put that right in the center. But since it's round, I am going to add some glue so it doesn't roll all over the place. So let's add that sucker right in the middle. And that's pretty already. Allison is such a lucky girl. So lucky. Okay, so now I have another little something. I'm going to add something down here. So I have another little piece of purple. And we have two leaf shapes that I also nipped out with my wheeled nippers. So we're just going to add a little leaf there, and I am going to glue that so it doesn't shift around. I'm just going to put just one tiny dot of glue on the back of there. And then same on this one. Just a smidgy, nothing fancy. And then right between the leaves, I'm going to add another dot because I have another cute little bead, and that's kind of a faceted iridescent bead. So we'll put that right there, and then we will put that little piece of glass right next to it. So it's like a cute little flower bud. I love this so much, guys. What did somebody say about the nippers? Absolutely, Carol. Absolutely. Now, let's see here. I want to add a little leaf here. We'll just put a little leaf like it's coming off of that little curly Q vine. And let's see. Oh, I have a vine here, so I'm going to add my flower and the little bead, my little cute little purple bead. Oh, guys, I'll tell you what, that about did me in. I'll be checking that next time. So I'm just going to add these little leaves. Look how cute this is. Oops, that's upside down. Look how stinking cute this is. Oh my goodness. Guys, let's add one more thing down here. Let's add, I have this piece. It's just kind of a funny shape, and I told you I was just nipping the glass, and I wasn't micromanaging what came out. So this is kind of a weirdo piece. So we're just gonna put it like right here. Like right here. And I'm gonna put a couple of leaves there. And here. Oh my goodness. And I don't know what happened to my little bead that was gonna go there. It probably rolled off somewhere. So we're just going to not have that bead. Oh, I think I found it. Look, it had rolled off. So I'm just gonna put his little bead right there. Little tiny baby bead. Now, guys, is that not cute? And look how fast that was. That is, oh, hello there, note. This is so typical for my day today. Love it. Look how cute this is. But I think, yes, Janet, thank you. I think we need to add a little more something to it though. So I am going to grab a little cup full of crushed glass, and maybe, you know what always makes everything look better? Bubbles. So we are gonna add a few little pieces of glass just around our flower, and we're using clear so that once we resin, you'll be able to see through it. You'll be able to see the A, and you'll be able to see all the flowers. It won't interfere with that at all. So I'm just going to sprinkle some glass. Not much, just a little something. Just a little. So when we do our resin, you'll still be able to see the A through it. I love this so much. And I'll show you again my C. This is the one I did yesterday, so you can see I did apply some of the clear glass around the flowers, but when you resin it, it just makes it like I can't even talk. Good Lord. It's just kind of an accent. It doesn't take away from the letter itself. Lord have mercy. Okay, now, because I love bubbles, we are going to add just a few little bubbles, and I'm just going to take some in my hand and drop them. And one more. I'm pretty punchy today. So this is so stinking cute, guys. Oh my goodness. I wish you could see it in close up and in person. So cute. Is that not so cute? I love it so much. I love it so much that I'm going to do another one later tonight or tomorrow for a special somebody. Oh my goodness. So, okay, so now, just like that was so stinking easy. We're ready to resin already. The bubbles are, where'd they go? The bubbles are clear acrylic. They're flat on one side and rounded on the other, and you can get them. It's called vase filler. And look at Tim. It's called vase filler, and it's in the floral section at Hobby Lobby and Michael's and that sort of thing. I call them bubbles because that's what I use them for. Now I have to add some more because you asked. That's a requirement. If you touch the bubbles, you have to add them to your art. So yeah, they're just acrylic rounds. Catherine, I can't see. Let's see. My laptop's too far away. I just printed this off. It's a font. I just pulled up my on my Mac, just the Word format, the Word program, whatever it's called on Mac, and printed an A that I liked. But I did add some other elements to it and took away some. It did have like this big curly thing here, and I didn't like it. Wanted something more simple. Yes, I do sell them. I bought, I don't know if they're still on my website. I bought like 100 pounds of the bubbles way back when. So I had them on my website. I don't even know. I probably still do have some, but I have a boat ton of bubbles. Love them. I use them in everything. Yes. So we're going to resin. Who is ready to resin? So you know the first thing we got to do is I'm going to use my blocks to elevate my canvas, okay? Because we don't want our monogram to stick to this canvas that we're working on. So we're going to raise up our canvas off our table, so that if any resin just so happens to drip over the edges, then it won't stick our canvas to our table. So yes, bubbles are great. Yes. So I am going to mix some resin. I have my sweet little cup and my stir stick. Let's see. Flower that's black vine. Flower that's, I just used a pen. Are you talking about the vine that's around the letter? I just used a archive or graphic pen. That's all. And I got that at Hobby Lobby. And their pen sets are on sale. I think they're 40% off or something. So I got a new set yesterday. I'll show you real quick. So I got this set yesterday. These, and they're different sizes. So one's got a teeny tiny little tip, and then it goes all the way up to like a calligraphy style. And they are archive quality, so it's chemical and water resistant. So these are really good for pouring resin over the top. The 4-pack was $13.99, but I got it 40% off. 40 or 50, I can't remember. Okay, so before I put my gloves on, I'm going to put this hat on so I don't have resin in my hair or hair in my resin. So we'll get that done. So I'm going to mix resin, and then we can chat while I'm mixing. I'm going to pull my laptop a little closer so I can see, but far enough that I don't get resin on my laptop. That would be bad. So we're going to put our gloves on. So exciting. I love this so much. Hey Patsy, how are you, love? Okay, so we got our gloves on. So now I'm gonna mix some resin. This is a 12 by 12 canvas. So, Yeah, crappy internet for you, crappy crappy something for me too. I'm gonna actually take my little watch off too. I'm gonna take my Apple off. We don't need resin on that. Okay, so this is 12 by 12 and we don't have a lot of glass. So I'm only going to make, well, I'm gonna go ahead and make 4 ounces, but I'm gonna guesstimate that we're only gonna use 2. But I have other things. If I could show you my table over there, I have about 6 pieces that I need of resin. So if we have more, that's okay. But I will tell you, and if I forget, oh no, I hate that. I've had it on everything. If I forget, somebody remind me to tell you how much we use so you'll know how much for a typical monogram. But I'm going to mix 4 ounces. So I'll start with my part A. And I'm using art resin, just like always. I'm an art resinaholic. It is pricey, but it is the good stuff. It's the good stuff. So I'm going to put 2 ounces of part A because art resin is a 50-50 mix. And somebody don't let me forget to level my canvas. Okay, so that's 2 ounces. Before I pour my next one, I'm going to put it on the table so I don't forget which one I'm doing. I need to level this because at this table, it is always unlevel. Yeah, we are way off. Let me scoot this over a smidge. Yeah, you don't want your piece to be unlevel because it might run off all on one side and that is not fun. Okay, it's level this way, but this way it's not. It needs something up under the front, just like always. So I'm just gonna stick a couple of little sticks under and see if that helps. Try it again. Voila, dead on. Good job. All right, you're not late. Okay, so I put 2 ounces of the hardener, and so we're gonna put 2 ounces of the resin in. I am bumping my table like crazy. So we will slow pour to the 4 ounce line and then stop and let it grow. Oh, heavens, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for showing up, even though I was 20 minutes late and had crazy lady issues. Oh, there's something in my cup. Hang on, I need a towel. There's something gross on the side of my cup, and I do not want that in my resin. I know exactly what it is, too. I know exactly what it is. It's chicken salad. And that's another whole different story. Okay, we're cleaned up now. Today is a good day. So anyway, guys, thank you. Isn't it pretty? Thank you for coming back, even though I was psycho crazy woman, 20 minutes late, couldn't figure out anything. So we're gonna stir for 3 minutes. And while we're stirring, I have some stuff I tell you about. So somebody time me. Rima, can you time me, baby girl? Oh, I mixed the resin with resin. It's 2 parts. It's a hardener and a resin. So you mix the 2 parts together and it creates a film that you pour over the glass. And then it takes about 12 hours to dry. Then you have this glassy gloss coat. So it's just 2 parts of resin and hardener. So I'm gonna stir, and I'm not gonna beat it to death. I'm not gonna whip, because that'll incorporate a lot of bubbles. So I'm just gonna slow stir, scrape the bottom of my cup and along the sides. And I will tell you this right now, not really late, girl. That's why we have replays. If you are a new resin pourer, never pour in 1 cup. Always do a 2-cup pour, which means you're going to put part A in 1 cup, part B in another cup, and then combine them. and then stir for a minute and a half, and then put them back into the initial cup and stir it again, so that you don't have a beginner mishap, because nobody wants a beginner mishap. So anyway, while I'm stirring, I have to tell you, today I finally finished all of the videos and all of the goodness for boot camp. Woo! Oh, okay, sorry. I finally finished the last bit of all the goodness for boot camp, and I got to get that over to my web girl, Christy, because on August 5th, our Get Shattered Beginners Boot Camp will be open for business. So I want to tell you guys, a few things while I'm stirring, and then I'll stop talking about the Beginners Boot Camp. Okay, Catherine, I'll explain that in just a second again. So in our Beginners Boot Camp, let me first tell you why we're doing it. So I have a membership where I have people who I teach glass art to. And I've had it for about a year. It'll be a year next month. And we are ready kind of to move on to larger and more technical projects in the boot camp. In our membership club. So I decided to create a 4-week course for beginners that, bubbles are rising in my nose, a 4-week glass art course for beginners, so that if anyone who is interested in joining my membership, they need to kind of go through the boot camp to get to be a confident glass art creator before they come into my membership club. So the 4-week boot camp is 4 different glass art pieces, step by step by step. Hold your hand all the way through, and the first one is a real simple beginners, and then every consecutive workshop, there are 4 of them, every consecutive workshop after that gets a little bit harder. And I show you how to cut all the little glass pieces. I show you how to cut the little leaves. We show you how to break vases, how to tint resin. It's just a beginner's version of my membership club, so that you would feel comfortable and not overwhelmed if you wanted to join the membership. So we're really excited about that. And just for 1 sec, I haven't sent the emails out yet. I just finished it today. So you'll be getting something really soon. So I want to just for 5 secs tell you what is in that, and then we're going to pour our resin. So in the boot camp, we're going to offer 4 videos step by step, as well as PDFs to accompany them, which give you step-by-step directions in PDF format and a supply list for every project, all 4 projects. And in that group, you also get a master supply list, a list of kind of things to have on hand for doing glass art. We're going to teach you how to source glass, where to find it. We're going to teach you how to tint glass, how to clean your tools, how to fix boo-boos in resin. So if you get a crack in your resin, or if you get a bug in your resin, or bubbles, we're going to show you how to fix all that stuff. We're going to show you how to tint, just basic beginner tinting of resin, palette knife basics, I'm trying to think, when to glue, when not to glue, and the difference in a couple of different plasters that we like to use. And we're going to teach you how to break and cut all these glass pieces, how to break a vase, and then nip it and form it into particular shapes, as well as how to cut sheet glass, how to cut little leaves and hair and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's the beginner basics, really, taking you from somebody who might be a little nervous about creating your own glass piece to somebody who's really confident in their abilities. So we're really, really, really excited about offering that. And starting next week, we're going to start getting you guys on board for that boot camp, and we're going to have something really special in store for people who join the first day. So if you are interested, I'm going to stop in 1 second. If you are interested in more information about the upcoming boot camp, the 4-week online course, it's all online, so you can take 10 weeks to do it, or you can do it in the 4 weeks. Comment boot camp, and we're going to send you some information. If you comment boot camp, you're going to get a private message from me, and then you'll need to click that link to get on our waiting list so that I can send you an email next week and give you all the details about what's happening in boot camp. So we're really excited about it. I've been working on this for several months, and I'm thrilled to be able to offer this to you guys. Okay, now I'm going to stop. It sounded like a dadgum commercial, didn't I? So we're going to finish this up, and I want to walk you through kind of how, yes, I'm excited about it. So I'm going to walk you through how we always pour our resin, okay? We don't pour. Pour is the wrong word. We are going to drizzle resin over the top of all of our glass, because what we want to do, if we just flood it, if we just pour the resin, it's going to settle all around the flat surface of the canvas, but it's not going to get the top surface of all these glass pieces. And we don't want that to happen. So we're going to drizzle the glass. I'm just going to use my stick, and I'm going to scoop up a bit of resin on my stick, and I'm just going to drizzle it all over the top surface of my little glass pieces. Now what that does, it is when you pour it on the top of the glass, it kind of seeps down into the crevices between all the glass, down the sides, and adheres it to your canvas so you don't have any loose cannons running around. So when you're done, if you've covered all your glass, it should all be stuck down to your canvas and no loosey-gooseys. So that when you come back the next day after it's dry, because it does take about 12 hours to dry, when you come back, it will be nice and dry and you won't have any pieces that fall off. And you can fix those, so it's not a disaster. If you have some pieces that didn't quite get stuck down, we can fix that. We do show you how to do that in boot camp. So it's not a complete disaster, but you know, nobody wants to have to do that. You don't want to have to come and resin your piece twice. So make sure you kind of follow the directions on the drizzling technique over the glass pieces. So we're just going to drizzle all around, and I'm being very methodical. I'm starting at one end and just working my way back towards myself with my resin, making sure I cover all the bits and pieces. So, and then once we have all the glass bits covered, I'm going to show you how to cover the what I call voids. A void to me is the part of the canvas that doesn't have glass. So, I'm going to just keep drizzling all over all my little bits and pieces. Thank you guys for doing the share thing. If you shared, I totally love and appreciate that. That is how we grow here at the Art Shattered place. So we definitely love sharing. And I'm almost done. So I just keep going. I'm just going to keep drizzling on my little pieces until I have all my glass covered. And I feel really secure about that it's all covered up really well. Now, and I want to tell you why I do my glass first, because it's good to know. I mean, there is a rhyme and reason for pretty much everything I do when I'm creating my art. Because when we are covering our glass pieces with with resin, the resin wants to self-level. It wants to spread out and self-level, and it starts moving away from the glass all the way around. So if we poured a bunch of resin on the void part first and then came up and tried to do our glass, we're going to have way too much resin on our canvas. And we don't want that because resin is expensive and we don't want to waste. We don't want to have too much resin, so much that it runs all over the sides and makes us have drips. And we also don't want to waste. We only want to use as much as we have to because this stuff ain't cheap, sisters. It ain't cheap. Okay, so all my glass is covered. It's starting to spread out, so I kind of know how much more I need to add to completely fill in the rest of my canvas. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit in my flat areas, and then we're going to finger paint with resin. Then I'm going to just take, now once I spread this out, remind me to tell you how much we used. So now I'm just going to take my hands, my gloved hands, always wear gloves, and I am just going to wiggle my fingers into the resin and spread the resin out all over the rest of my canvas. This helps with several things, okay? When you're mixing resin, you are incorporating air bubbles in your resin, because that's just the nature of the beast. When you're stirring something, you are stirring in air bubbles. So one of the reasons we do it this way is rubbing out the resin and spreading it with your hands helps eliminate some of those air bubbles that form in the resin. What it also does is helps keep you from using too much resin. I don't want to flood this and just pour it and let it run over the sides, because that would be wasteful in my opinion, and I am a cheapie and I do not like to waste expensive resin. So I'm just going to use my hands and I'm going in between all my little glass pieces and make sure it's all covered. I need to move this for 1 sec. I had a little void right there. We'll put it back. So I'm just using my hands to spread the resin. Looks like I'm flipping y'all the bird, doesn't it? Not. So we have covered the entire surface. All our glass is covered really nicely. And I don't see any, I see a little bit of a, I don't know what that is, but we're going to get it off there. A little bit of a fuzz ball or something. So I don't see any other problems. I do see one more piece of fuzz, so I'm going to use this little pointy skewer to get that little fuzz ball out. Just, you can use a toothpick or just something pointy and just get that little piece of fuzz out of there. Let's see, I'm going to just give it a once over. I don't see any more issues. It looks good to me. And we used, let's see. I'm going to take my gloves off. Well, I'm going to tell you how much we used first. Okay, we used 2 ounces. Didn't I tell you we were going to use 2 ounces? That's right, Aggie. We are going to use, we used 2 ounces of resin to pour this piece, which is fantastical. Fantastical. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, if you comment boot camp and go to your private messenger, if you comment boot camp, I'm sending you a private message and it's giving you the link to sign up for more information for our boot camp program. But when you do that, you also get a free video tutorial from me on how to do our beachy magnets. So I'm going to grab, right before we torch that, I'm going to grab a magnet. So just for asking for more information, just for getting on our wait list, you get the tutorial to make these cute little beachy magnets. See this one with the little seahorse? Yay! So you'll get a tutorial a video tutorial and a PDF document with all the colors and the supply list for making these cute little magnets. So comment boot camp for more information about our upcoming boot camp, and then check your PM because that's where the link is for you to sign up to get more information. So real quick, we're going to wrap this up. I am going to torch. I'm going to use my handy dandy propane torch to pop any remaining air bubbles that we have left in our canvas. Now you don't have to use a propane torch. I tell you guys this all the time. So I use this because this is what I started using, and this is what I'm just used to. You don't have to use a propane torch. You can use a creme brulee, one of those small kitchen torches, or you can even use a heat gun. So don't feel like you gotta mess with the big fire, because you don't. So I am gonna just light this sucker up. And what pops the bubbles is the heat from the torch, not the flame. So you don't ever want the flame of your torch or your heat gun, the tip of your heat gun, to ever touch the surface of your canvas. And you also don't want to stop in one spot. You want to keep your heat source, whether it's a torch, a heat gun, a low set blow dryer, whatever it is you're using. You want to keep it moving constantly, because if you stop and hone in on one spot, what happens is you can burn your resin. You won't know it's burned for a few days when that one spot starts turning yellow. So we're done just like that. Now I'm going to put my torch away so I don't burn myself, because you know that's how I roll. So look at this. Look, is this not cute? Look at the A for Allie pants and all those cute purple flowers. Oh my goodness, I love it. And let me show you my C one more time. So cute. I made this one day before yesterday. Look at that. Is that not